thank you to our sponsor, Bosque Trails Hospice, for hosting us here today. I also want to thank our other sponsors who helped make this festival possible. A good goodbye, that's me. Bernalillo County, their indigent program, Better Place Forests, Conscious Crossroads End of Life Services, Deaf Doula Danielle, and Deaf Doula Professionals, Brooke Nutting. End of Life Options New Mexico, thank you for the bagels and the coffee. French Funerals and Cremations. Keeper Memorials for the online access on Zoom. And Passages International, also longtime supporter of my work. We're going to learn about veterans benefits during this next session. Yeah, it was so nice. You did hear that actually the VA has one of the only inpatient hospice units here in Albuquerque.
How many beds do they have?
How many beds do they have? 10?
We're done.
Okay, 10.
Not enough.
Not enough. I mean, and then with Caseman, that's another 10, but that's only 20 inpatient beds in Albuquerque. And we are very lucky to have with us today Tim Avila with the Veterans Administration. And he's going to talk with us about veterans care and funeral benefits that veterans can get. And there are things that you probably don't know about. So please welcome Tim Avila.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not used to holding a mic. Every time I have a mic, I'm going to start singing. So if I start singing to you, I apologize for scaring you. But my name's Tim. I'm with the VA hospital. I work in the Decedent Affairs office in our enrollment office. So I help the families with the loved ones when their veterans pass away at the hospital. Also as well when they pass away out of town. So, you know, I help the whole state of New Mexico. We help all our veterans. We do what we can to take care of them and to make sure their loved ones are taken care of as well. The families.
You're not coming through those speakers.
All right, I apologize. How about say myself? Okay. I heard myself too. Yeah, so we help all the families when their loved ones pass away. They give us a call. We only know when the passing happens when they call us if it's out of town. So we're not notified when a veteran passes away. We're not notified right away. We don't know until we're notified. I get a lot of families who call like he passed last week. They're like, I don't know. We're not notified. But anyhow, but we help all the families to take care of them. One thing we do offer is we have a few benefits that's for the veterans, for the families. All veterans are allowed or can be buried under national cemetery or the state cemeteries. Right. So that's some of the burial benefits. There's no cost. There's no charge for those cemeteries. Everything is treated, taken care of. We get the grounds, the headstone, the plot, all maintenance. Everything that comes with the burial is taken care of for free. We also have tribal benefits, you know, for their traditions, for the native traditions. So they do help with all traditions for that as well. So for our native veterans, we do comply and do help with what we can for the native burials. Okay. In order to be eligible to be buried at the National Cemetery, you do have to meet the requirements. You got to be an honorable discharge. You can't have a bad conduct or a dishonorable discharge. So you still got to meet the eligibility requirements. Whether you do 20 years and got dishonorable discharge, you're ineligible for the National Cemetery. So there still is requirements. All veterans' families, I won't say all families, but the veteran's spouse can be buried with him at the National Cemetery. If they lay together and rest, and the headstone will share both front and back your guys' information, your names, and the dates of birth and passing. Some children are allowed to be buried at the National Cemetery. Depends if they're 100% dependent on the family members. So if they have 100% disability or they're not able to take care of themselves, they're 100% accounting on the parent to take care of them, then they can be laid to rest at the National Cemetery with as well. Okay.
What makes a dishonorable discharge?
Drugs, murder, failing to comply with all military regulations and rules. And
what is your discharge? Not dishonorable or honorable?
So there's honorable, other than honorable, general, administrative discharge. So there's different levels of discharges. So 90% of everybody has an honorable discharge. There's 10%. Yeah. Made the wrong decision. The military wasn't their lifestyle, and they did whatever they did to get out. Chose poorly. But yeah, so we try to help take care of all the veterans. We sit there, we listen to them, we help them, help with the process. There is benefits for the surviving spouses. There's the veteran was service connected, receiving the VA pension. And when I say service connected, it's a service connection disability. So when you get out of the military, you can apply for a disability if you've been injured in the military. And that rate goes from 0% to 100%. Okay. If you are 100%, the spouses could apply for a survival pension or DIC, then you can receive a monthly paycheck when your loved one's passed away. Now, it's not automatic, you do got to apply for it. There is applications for everything. It's the government. You don't give everything away for free, so you still got to put the application in and apply for it. And usually, if you're 100%, it's about $1,500 a month.
So how long does that go for, that payment for the survivor?
Until the survivor passes. Yeah, so the payment is good until. Yeah, it's your money. Okay. We do have a burial benefit program, so when you bury your loved one, the VA can reimburse up to $2,000 in funeral home expenses. If you're non-service connected, it could be up to $890 or $987. It's not a whole lot. It's not going to cover everything, but every little bit helps. But yeah, no. So the VA, we help with everything right there. We cover help, apply for all benefits. We've got some applications here. There's the Veterans Benefit Administration Office. They're the ones who handle and apply all benefits and take care of all benefits. They start your disability rating. They pay out the benefits. Any questions you have regarding the VA benefits, they're the guys who call. What I do at the hospital, I help with all the health side of the house. We'll make sure all appointments, medications, everything else is taken care of. Put aside. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of my job is at the VA hospital is I'm a unpaid social worker. A lot of times, as I said earlier, I listen to them talk and listen to them grieve and help them and give them the comfort they need at that time of being. But we handle everything. We take care of. There's burial benefit. They have a presidential memorial certificate we give out. It's the president sending a memorial certificate honoring the veteran service. So it's.
Tell us about the DD 214 form.
I will
That's
get
the key to it all, yes.
Yes. So I apologize. I'm all over the place. I usually have a presentation that I follow. I didn't realize I didn't know my presentation until I started talking. But, yes, the DD 214 is the veterans golden ticket for everything. All right. So how many veterans do we have out here anyway?
Oh, I'm not, but my husband is.
Oh, you're a veteran too. Yep. If your husband serves, you serve, you paid the price just as he did. So thank you guys. Thank you all for your service for spouses, because they can't do it without the love and support of their wives. They take care of the back end while they're out doing the military thing. So thank you all. But yes, the DD 214 is a discharge separation record. That is their golden ticket to all their benefits. That's basically going to have a track of their military history. When they came in and when they got out, what their honorableness was, their medals, they were deployed. It has everything on it. If it was honorable or dishonorable, bad conduct, general, that piece of paper has everything on it. Right. So that will be needed to get into the National Cemetery to apply for benefits. That's a golden ticket. Now, I always tell the veterans, I sit there, I go over them with a little bit of life planning. Tell them the most important thing is that DD 214. I put mine away. I know where mine is at, but does your wife or your kids know where it's at? That's the biggest thing. Because I talk to families all the time. You come in like, I need this DD 214. He told me he had it. It's put away. He never told me where it's at, and it's not an easy thing to get. So I work at the hospital with the VA. A lot of people think just with the VA, we have medical access to get it. It's not the case.
So how do you get it? I was on the
online for it. And it's like you have to have all these other documents that you send in, right? Like you have to have the death certificate. Proof that you're related to the person. Is that correct?
Yes, so there's a couple ways to get it. If they have a service connection disability, you can call downtown to the regional office, the Veterans Benefit Office. They might have they should have a copy of it. They can help you get a copy. You can go to archives.gov, the website. I believe that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They do ask for a death certificate or who you are and why you're asking for it. Giving your right arm just get a piece of paper that you're entitled to. But, you know, anybody can go on the website and ask for something. So you gotta, you know, have a reason why you're asking for what you can. You can also come to my office. I tend to break the rules a little bit more than anybody else. I'll walk the white line for you. So if I have a copy or if I can get it, I will get it for you. So, you know, there are a couple ways. So I always tell you my name's Fred. That way if you tell me, I don't know who you are. Or, so, but if you do need a copy, if you can't get a copy, definitely give me a call at the VA hospital. And if I got it, I will work with you. I will make sure who you are is who you are, but I'll make it a little less stressful in trying to get it.
Wouldn't it make sense for us to, if possible, be proactive before death and make sure that we have that on file with other estate documents, etc.?
So I'm glad you said that because I do life planning. And I was just telling the lady back there, there was a life planning packet I had to give to you guys, and I left it on my desk when I left work. So I do work just down the road from here, so I was telling them I will run back to the office and I'll bring it back here and drop it off, and anybody who wants it can have it. Basically, it's a little life planning packet, and basically what it is, it's putting all your records, all your personal affairs down on paper. So it's for your bank accounts, your real estate, your power of attorney, if you have any wills, where your DD 214 is located, where you want to be buried, where you clergy, church, mass, whatever your wishes are, it goes in that packet. And I do a lot of talks with families about life planning prior to death happening, and it really helps put everything, because families come in and they have no clue what's going on, what happened, you know, and it's not the right time for them anyway. Their minds are already somewhere else, and last thing they want to look for is a DD 214. And the first thing they're being asked for is the DD 214. So the sooner you plan, put all your documents together, it's in the shoebox underneath the bed by the left post. Hey, that's planning, you know where it's at. So definitely, you know, if you can put things out on paper, you know, and give it to your kids, to your wife. I always tell everybody to be careful with it, because there's a lot of personal information in there. You don't want to give it to just anybody to hang on to, because, you know, got a lot of scammers out there, a lot of people fraud. You know, you don't want anything happening to your information, even after you go.
We have an online question.
I forgot I was being recorded, so forget I walked the line and everything. Yes.
Back when, being gay, you were given a dishonorable discharge. Have these vets been compensated, and if have died, can they be moved to the National Cemetery? And do current vet transgender personnel get hospice at VA and after death get full benefits?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
If they've already passed and they've received a dishonorable discharge and they're not buried in the National Cemetery, they can always take that DD 214 with the reason they were discharged, and they can submit it to be adjudicated. Basically, they can get reviewed by the VA, and I can't guarantee.
This would be their loved ones?
Their loved ones would have to,
Next of kin, yeah, yeah.
Yes, so their loved ones would have to take that, submit that DD 214, see if they get adjudicated for burial purposes, and they'll make a decision on the status of that. That's a tough one to answer. That one's out of my realm.
Okay.
But the
Transgender hospice at VA?
anybody right now, doesn't matter. If you're a veteran, you're a veteran.
Okay.
Whether you're transgender, no matter transgender. Or as long as you're a veteran, Army sir, you can be in the hospice, you can be in the VA hospital, you're eligible for VA care. To be eligible for VA care, you do have to be honorably discharged or meet the requirements. You have to have 2 years of active duty service. And that's me in our hospice program or any type of services to go for VA healthcare. So anybody enrolled in the VA healthcare? Any veterans here? Or you also you enrolled? Okay, so yeah, so you have to be 2 years active duty, 2 years active duty service. Meet the requirements. If you're not, if you don't have a service connection disability, you're gonna be, your finances is, your eligibility is gonna be based on your finances. So depends on how much you make, you might be ineligible for care. I know as a veteran, I hate to say that, but those are rules and regulations and it's only about to fall by. Okay, if you're under the threshold income, be eligible. You might have to make a co-payment or not, but this will be eligible for healthcare. It's still a lot cheaper than out down. Still a lot cheaper than a lot of other places. If you do have a service connection disability from 0 to 100, it puts you in different priority groups. If you're 50% or higher, all medical care is free. You don't pay for no medications. You don't pay for anything. If you're 40% to 50, you pretty much everything is still the same. You might have to pay co-payments depending on your income. And it's 30%, same thing, it just means you're in a different service connected category. At 30% or higher, rate travel pay. So I think we're probably one of the only hospitals that pay you to come to the doctor. 41.5% round mile. So you live in MS,
Yeah, way out there.
get reimbursed to come back to the hospital.
So I've heard of something called aid and attendance program.
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
So the aid attendance program is basically the veteran needs aid attendance needs help. Basically the VBA has a package, aid attendance package. Basically you go see your primary care, there's an application for it. You go see your doctor that says, hey, this veteran needs somebody to take care of him full time, need aid attendance. You fill out that application, you get your doctor's notes, doctor's prescription saying yes, he does need it. You submit that to the VBA, again, the VBA takes care of everything. Anything money-wise, the VBA takes care of. So the Veterans Benefit Office will review that package, yes, they concur, and then you can get paid and get the assistance to take care of your loved one, whether you, the spouse, or whoever is going to be taken care of. So
That's great. Yeah.
yes.
Is there a process that's separate to find out if you're with a veteran, if they have life insurance through, like after service, if they had life insurance with the VA or military?
Yeah, so we do have a couple life insurances. We have the VA sponsored life insurance and the Veterans Group life insurance. Those are all separate, still to the VA, but they're separate again. Separate from us, from the hospital. So I can't see anything you have outside of the hospital, but we do have a couple life insurance companies. The VA just have some VA insurance companies that.
But if there's so is it when because you said they have to notify the VA of a death. So do they then talk to the family member or whoever called and kind of walk them through the process to see if, if there was a policy or if they had other, the benefits, or is it a government process that is fractured and a little bit harder?
No. So basically, when I meet with families, I go through, I give them a packet here, and I have given a lot of a few phone numbers on here. Unfortunately, the family's got to call these numbers to verify if they have a life insurance or not. We don't get involved in it. We don't. It's even I have tried calling for families, and even if I say I'm with the VA to see the affairs office, they don't care. It's I need to speak to their loved one. So, as I can do as much as I can, and we're helping them with but privacy and PII. A lot of information they won't give to me because it's got to be the family members to call. Even the VBA, I call the VBA to report it. They still want to hear from the family member because they'll take my notes, take my information, annotate it, but they still need to hear from family members as well. Okay. Yeah.
You go up there and talking to the mic.
I did it to myself.
Yes, you can do it.
I just wanted to say, with all that information, it always sounds great, right? But it's like, where do I start? And I know everybody's not assigned a social worker, but working here at Bosque Trails, what I wanted to state is part of the benefit the hospice benefit comes with a social worker. And that's part of my role, is to help navigate that. And so that's where we can make those phone calls with you at home, with you, and navigate that together. And so we're always open to taking those phone calls and trying to help you navigate too, even if you're not on our services, just because at some point we are a community, right? And the way that we do that is by holding up our community.
Well, and actually, could you stay up there? I have another question.
Oh,
So when you work with a veteran in your hospice, what do you do differently for a veteran than you would for just an average citizen?
so I think one of the things that stands out is we do have a form that, and I hate to use the word form, but it's so we can organize. And we ask the questions, first, thank you for your service. Which branch did you serve with? And one of my questions is do you have your DD 214 located? It is on, and there's even a check mark for it. I even offer to scan it in and put it on file with us, because there are times when we can find things and then we get overwhelmed and we can't find them again. So I think what we do different is we get to know, we ask what benefits, are you 100% service connected? Are you 10? Are you 20? Are you looking to do the paperwork to increase that percentage just due to coming on hospice? Is it service connected to that diagnosis? Can we help you with that? Our providers also help fill out the aid and attendance form. And one of the things I do ask is, do you have a VAT? And as a social worker, I reach out and introduce myself so they know that there's someone working with the family.
And after the veteran,
Oh, yes, we do that as well, in regards to placement. So like you guys asked a great question earlier about, VA hospice, the hospice house. We help with placement with that, to help make it more seamless. We also look for, different nursing facilities for end of life contract. Like he said, he kind of went over how you qualify for that. And I'm going to tell you this, I wish I had the answer to every question, and I don't, because every veteran qualifies for different things. So the first thing I do is call our hospice and palliative social worker at the VA, and I ask, can you tell me what they qualify for?
and when there is a death, what do you do for veterans that honors their service after they've died?
So we have what's called an honor walk. So whether the veterans pass away at our palliative care, at the hospice building, or within the wards. And it's beautiful if you haven't seen it. I hope none of you have seen it yet. But what we do have is the honor walk. We do have the flag draped over our veteran. We do have a reading that we read out that honors our veteran service. Sometimes the family members will talk. We have an honor walk escort down to our ward. It's very beautiful. It's very nice. Very touching. And it's done at both places of the palliative care. Or within the hospital, VA in general. So it's very nice. So yeah. So and talking about the palliative care, I don't know if you talked to Irene Wainwright or Elizabeth Stein. I tell you what, those are great social workers. I never seen anybody bend over backwards for our veterans like they have. So if you want to go to a VA hospice care, I would recommend them. Not anytime soon, but just but yeah, no, they do great care, and they take great care of our veterans who are at the end of life. It's a great team down there. But yeah, but going back, like I said, the National Cemetery, there's two ways to get into the National Cemetery. Three, well, no, but there is an application, a VA form 40-0007. What you can do is pre-register with that application. You get that sent in with a copy of your GD 214. Send that in for you and your spouse, and get pre-registered. And it saves one step at that time when that time comes. for the funeral homes, and funeral homes are great. They'll help get you set up and registered for the National Cemetery. So I do work with a lot of funeral homes on a daily basis. And they are amazing. They help take care of a lot of things. They'll help set up the military National Cemetery if you haven't registered already. They do great setting up military honors. Getting the funeral, the honor team out there to play taps, the folding of the flag, the 21 gun salute if eligible for that. So yeah, the funeral homes are amazing, help to take care of a lot of the military honors and military setup as well. Yes, ma'am.
The National Cemetery in Santa Fe getting full, and once it is full, what?
So it is full. There is some lifetime there still. They still do have some available space there. They are working on building a new one, and my last knowledge is gonna be down there by the Eagle Nest Airport, down by Teacher Road. So that's coming. I don't know when that's gonna start happening, when the ground will break. I haven't been down there to see it, or if it has started, I haven't been informed of it yet, but yeah, so last I heard, they still have about 5-7 years left still with there, so they're still a little bit of time about this. Other than that,
Somebody online says after loss professionals can help with grievers. There's afterlosspros.com professionals for a listing. And I'm like, what is an after loss professional? Yeah, I don't know. Is that a social worker?
yeah, I'm not sure about after loss professionals.
Yeah.
We do have bereavement counseling,
Uh-huh.
some similar. I don't have the number off the top of my head, but we do offer bereavement counseling through the VA. There's one number to call, and they'll redirect you to a source out here for bereavement counseling. We do have a chaplain at our hospital, so if you do need to talk to somebody, we have a chaplain there as well. We provide support. Our chaplain actually does a lot of great outreaches for the families of they do have a lot of memorials to honor the veterans that have passed
Mhm.
within a certain time frame. So next week, we're actually having a memorial for all our veterans that passed away in hospice. So that's going next Wednesday.
Well, and when it comes to actually holding a funeral and getting military honors, you have to work with a funeral home usually to arrange that.
Funeral homes are great help in getting that arranged for military honors. You don't have to go through the funeral home, especially when they're cremated. A lot of families decide to have their services down the road. You can always request military honors yourself. You call 1-877-MIL-HONORS, and they'll reach out for the branch to help you set that up. You do need a DD-214. There is an application to fill out. There is a process. So yes,
What's happening next Wednesday?
we're honoring all our veterans that passed away at the VA hospital and hospice unit. Yeah. So that's starting, I believe, at 3:00. The actual ceremony starts at 6, but I'm not sure exactly. I just got invited yesterday, so yeah.
Recently, I helped do a memorial service at the National Cemetery for an atheist. But he had an old version of his DD-214 form. They didn't have his correct lieutenant colonel records on it. But the sergeant there was really great to know that that's what it was, and we could provide some additional paperwork. And they were allowed to help those people that know. So it's a very, they work with you a lot, even in lots of questions.
Yes, National Cemetery. Well, work with records there. Because most important part is taking care of our loved ones. Taking care of the veteran. If you do need a correction to a DD-214, depending on the branch of service, you got to go through their Board of Corrections. So I know for the Army, it's Army Board of Corrections. For the Navy and Marines, it's the Naval Board of Corrections. Then you got to submit paperwork and just why you need to change or submit the correct records to get it changed. And then you'll get what's called a DD-215. Shows what corrections they made to the DD-214.
So at Arlington, are they only accepting cremation and you go into a wall, or can you still go in the ground?
believe you can still go on the ground. I know it's a little tougher to get into the Arlington.
I think you have to, my grandfather's buried there. I think they're saving some grounds for like high ranking military people that die, but they're running out of room big time.
Yes, I, to be honest, I don't deal with Arlington, actually, I haven't dealt with them at all. It's just different requirements from what I understand. It's not as easy to get into that one as it is to the regular national state cemeteries. We do have burial at sea as well, especially for the naval personnel. Again, that is a request, that's not done. They don't do that every day, so there is a schedule for when they do that, so. I do have requests for burial at sea. But you'll work with the naval officers on that, and they'll give you a time when they actually do hold those services. Any other questions? Anything I might have missed that you could think of that I didn't answer?
On Memorial next week at 3, is it public? Open to the public, people who are non.
I don't know if it's open to the public. I know it was held to honor for the families of their loved ones who passed away at the hospice, but I don't see why anybody can't go. I mean, if you want to give me a call, I can verify with the lady who's setting it up. I might give you my number and I can verify it, but I'm pretty sure, I don't see why we would turn anybody away for that. Anything else?
Right. Were you going to bring the materials?
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll run back to my office here afterwards. I'll get that life planning packet. I'll bring it back and whether you're veteran or no veteran, it's a great package to have to use to just do some planning for yourself, for your family.
Yes. All right, well, thank you so much.